You get out of the rut and you put your mind on what you want. So if you're in pain, when did I get old enough for my body to be a barometer for the weather? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like, oh, my knee went out with rheumatiz. The weather out there has affected my joints and everything else. So there it is, I'm feeling twinges. I'm feeling twinges. And if you don't want to feel them anymore, imagine yourself dancing. Imagine yourself dancing. There's really good reason to think in that way, dancing. It would be really good if we all got up and went and took a dance class, but that'll come soon. But when we are thinking about and imagining dancing, it releases the endorphins in our brains that cause those good feelings that wash through our whole body. It causes a cascade of feelings. Did y'all see What the Bleep Do We Know? Many of us did. We may need to see that again. Don't you think we need to see that one again? I think we need to see The Secret as well. We got spiritual cinema coming up. That when we have these things in our imaginations, it causes a cascade of chemicals through our body. Well, if you're causing a cascade of chemicals that go with worry, they're acidic, they're corrosive thoughts. We don't want those in our joints anymore. We don't want them in our organs, in our tissues, in our bones, in our teeth. We want happy cascades of those endorphins that bring about thoughts that raise the level of our consciousness to a whole new place. Imagine yourself dancing and let that cascade run through our bodies and let our joints feel better for the whole bath of those cascades. That's all we're trying to do, is learn to use the principles of science of mind in such a way that we really are moving towards what we desire, instead of away from what we don't desire. If we're thinking, I don't want that anymore, and I'm not going to think about that anymore, and I'm never going to look at that anymore, and I'm still looking at that. Maybe over my shoulder, but I'm still looking at what I don't want. And what I really want to do is look at myself and say, I want to see myself on HBO in a comedy spot. Yes. Or, I want to see myself dancing. I want to see myself in my new home in Portland. I want to see myself in any place that you want to be. Hold it in your mind, hold it in your attention, and feel it. Feel it before it comes to pass. That is the key. That is the center strip of the Science of Mind symbol. Do you all know the teaching symbol for Science of Mind? I'm going to explain it to you, even if you do know it. It's a circle. The circle is divided into 3 sections, and down through the middle of that circle there's a V that doesn't have any of the lines through it. The top part of that circle is all about God. It's the qualities of God. Qualities of God are things like abundance and balance and beauty and creativity and freedom and love and peace and power and presence and unity and wholeness and oneness and love. Those are qualities of God. They're the things we want in our life. These are qualities because the infinite divine is not a giant human being in the sky. I don't care what gender you give it, God or goddess. It's not a giant human being. God is not made in the image and likeness of us. We are made in the image and likeness of it. And the reason I say it is because it's not anything to do with human beings. It's the great creator in us that matches that. That is the thing that we are, the great creator. We in microcosm create constantly from our thinking and cause our lives to come about. The infinite constantly is creating through its own divine thoughts, whatever that process looks and feels like. And that infinite divinity is a verb. It's not a noun. God is a verb. It's the action in the universe, and that's what it is. And that it's the process of becoming more and more divine in our unity. And in my meditation last night, I got this wonderful image, which is that the infinite intelligence which creates the universe out of itself is having a human life through me. It's connected to me through my divine mind, and I am connected to it, and I am having a divine life through this human body by my connection with it. we're not on a long tether, it's us. It's going, I am so grateful to be Casey or Grace or Renee or Ray. I am so happy being this life. And it wants us to be joyful. That's a God quality as well. But if you're having a sad, unhappy, miserable life, you have a bad cold, whatever it is, the infinite goes, ooh, isn't this interesting? It doesn't care what we do with our creativity. It just watches us unfold it. It's excited to be human as us. Just as we're excited to be divine when we go, oh, I get it. I am divine and I can have a much more divine life. It is very exciting to be here now doing this wonderful work. And from that divine creativity, the divine intelligence that has formed the universe out of itself, we are calling forth the current life we're living. I think it's wonderful. And what I want to encourage all of us to do is to bring your child out once again and let your child rule your life in that place of imagination. Don't wait for an idea to come to you. Let your mind go wild. Let me see if I can find this wonderful place in here. He's got a great bunch of suggestions. He has been in advertising for many, 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 many years. Oops. I've got so many things marked in here. But the one I wanted to talk about is he says, when you need a new idea, you need to shake up your life. So he says, so go into work and take everything out of your drawer and put it on the floor and leave it there for a couple of days. I believe I have. He says, eat an ice cream cone at your desk. Come in your pajamas. Come to work one day in your pajamas. People in advertising firms can get away with stuff like that. Have your next business meeting in the park. Just be as wild as you can be. Don't think of all the things that other people might think of you because you're creative and wild. It's the only way we can get ideas. How many of you read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance? I love that book. Do you know it's been in continuous print since it was printed first in the 70s, and it's still one of the most best-selling books in the world. If you've never read it, you need to read it. It's a philosophy book, and it's wild and wonderful. So he used to teach creative writing, and he gives the class an assignment to write something about America. And a student came back and said, I can't do it. All right. Then just pick this state. Can't do it. How about this city? How about just the Opera House? Start with the first brick on the left at the top and write an essay about the Opera House. And she did, 5,000 words later. She had never looked at anything so intimately. She was waiting for everybody else's ideas to come to her instead of getting her own. And you know, as the older we get, you know, we're asked to do essays and theses and all those sorts of things, and what they want us to do is put down quotes from other people. No. So what an idea is two things that you already know that have come together in a whole new configuration. You don't even need to make up a whole new set of things. It's just two different things that are going to come together in such a way that you go, wow, tape and a little piece of paper, Post-it, good idea. Great if instead of running over the white line and not knowing it and ending up in next door neighbor's field, we put little dots down the freeway, and it woke us up when we started to slide across it. Wow, that's a great idea. And you could have 1,000, 100,000 of them probably every day. Let's let them all out. Let's let them be wild. Let's let ourselves go in a whole new way. How exciting is it to be divinely human? I'm glad you're here today. It's a small, lovely, and intimate group. And now what I'd like you to do is, first of all, let me take you into prayer, because that's what I have to say about that. So I bring forth from within my mind the most creative thing I know, my imagination. Today I imagine for you, for this place, for myself, the merriest Christmas of all. And we're going to do that by remembering that it's really Merry Christian. Happy Judaism. Blessed Islam. Happy Kwanzaa. And as we move into this holy and sacred season, which is really about going inward, pulling forth from this darkness, this time of less light, the remembrance that we go within. We need to go into the dark inner places where it's quiet and peaceful, into that inner journey, into the cave of the shaman, which is an inward path and a soul journey, to find what's true for us, to bring it forth this coming year in a great and exciting way. There's something wonderful coming in our lives right now because we have set our imaginations open. What a Christmas gift. Be wild, be crazy, be imaginative, and see what this year brings. So that I can know for you, until you see it for yourself in your very creative way, that you don't need a job. You need to open your mind to what it is you do that is so productive it makes you a bazillionaire. How wonderful is that? When it's fun, when it's exciting, when it's drawing our mind and heart towards it, it's not work. We're at play in the fields of the Lord. I know for each and every one of us that we are healthy and happy in our bodies, our minds, our spirits, our emotions. And I know that it's true because you got up today and you came here in the rain. How wonderful is that? You are dedicated to your spiritual path and it's drawing you upward into a higher and better life. You deserve it. You should have it. All the health and the wealth that you need are yours. And I know something else about you that I know about myself. We are made entirely of love. We are made entirely of love, coming forth from the infinite divine source of all things, who put all of its focused attention on creating you at the moment of your conception. You are the only thought in the infinite, undivided mind of God. Now that works because infinite is undivided no matter where it has its attention. Just as we are the center of the universe, every single one of us truly at the center of our universe. Because there is no circumference, so the center is everywhere. Knowing that all these good thoughts, good ideas, and great feelings that come from using our wonderful gift of imagination, we let this gift of the Magi, of the kings, of the wise, open our hearts and our minds to bring us greater and greater glory and greater and greater good. I know you're blessed this season. I let it go. And I know for you it's true. Say with me, and so it is.